Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and welcome to my house. That's Justin's house. In this video, it's time for another ServiceNow Store highlights video, version 07142023. That's right, July 14th, 2023. And we've got a big one again. I'm going to call this one the ServiceNow Fixes episode. You can see we have 136 new or updated apps that we've got to move through here. Let's take a look at the episode stats so you know what you're in for once you clicked on this video. We've got 20 new releases, 38 highlights, 2 minor updates, 66, everybody, count them, 66 fixes in the ServiceNow Store, 2 downgrades and 8 release notes fails. Hopefully nothing changed since I got all this categorized yesterday evening. Let's start with the release note fails is where we always start there, and let's knock those out of the way. There were a couple ServiceNow ones in there too, but we have Admin Center, AI Search for, or they're all ServiceNow. Can you see that over there on the left-hand side? Admin Center, AI Search for Next Experience, Cadency Direct, Intent Discovery, Knowledge Capabilities in UI Builder, Service Operations Workspace, ITOM Apps, Service Operations Workspace, Metric Explorer, and SN Card List. If you haven't seen it before, a release notes fail is that there was an update in the store. The application was versioned, but we can't see what was new, changed, fixed, or removed using ServiceNow's own notes there. So we have them usually on the previous release. We can see what's new or changed, but we don't know what happened on July 6th, and that is what a release notes fail is on the ServiceNow Store highlights show. So next up on our list, let's check out the fixes. There were a ton of them, as you saw in the stats there, 66 of them total. I'm not going to read them all, but I will preface the ones you see with the @ sign here, at now par, at now par, at now par. Those are data visualization components or some kind of component in UI Builder. Basically, data visualization got an update, which means all of these little spark lines, bars, dials, gauges, everything, those all got fixed too. So they're keeping the same version number is what I'm assuming. But in addition to those, Agent Client Collector, Armor Point, Consumer Service Portal, Crow Advanced Compliance, Data Visualizations, DLP Incident Response integration with Symantec, Docker Spoke, Finance Common Architecture, and the GRC suite. So you can see there Advanced Audit, Advanced Core, Advanced Risk. Let's go to the next page. Audit Management Workspace, Compliant Management Workspace, Predictive Intelligence, Regulatory Change Management, Risk Management Workspace, Risk Shared Common Components. All had fixes updating to that version 16.0. something. In addition, Homepage Deprecation Help Tool, Investment Funding, ITSM Connector for SAP, Microsoft 365 Excel Spoke, Azure AD Spoke for Password Reset, Omni Experience Standard Feature Set, ONAPSIS Vulnerability Integration, Playbook Experience Components, SAP ECC RFC Spoke, Security Center, Security Incident Response Mobile, Service Graph Connector for AWS, Service Request Playbook, and SN Dashboards View. All had fixes. Notice this is mostly ServiceNow fixes. You would think there's a major release coming like Vancouver that they're getting everything ready for. In fact, in a lot of those fixed release notes, I did see that they were fixing things that were not compatible with the Vancouver family build. It's just Vancouver is not available yet. So I think that's why we're seeing a lot of these fixes. To round out the fixes in this episode, Splunk ES integration for security operations, SuccessFactors Spoke, TeamViewer Enterprise integration, UiPath Spoke, VividCharts data engagement platform, and vulnerability response integration with Tenable. All right, so that's our fixes. Let's take a look at the downgrades that happened. We had a couple of those over the past couple weeks. ScreenMeet and SN Multi-Pivot both had downgrades. Let's explain what a downgrade is since you might not have seen that. We'll go to the store here. There is version 2.6.4. If we look, there was a version 2.6.6 released on June 28th, but they recalled it or withdrew it on July 5th. That's why it showed up on my list, and therefore we're back to 2.6.4. So that's what a downgrade is. There were only 2 of them, ScreenMeet and SN Multi-Pivot. Most of the time it's just a bug was introduced and they didn't want that bug to be out there in the wild, so they withdrew it from the store. All right, last on our list here, minor updates. There were 2 minor updates. Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Finance and Operations and Workplace Maintenance Management from ServiceNow had a couple of minor updates. Now, let's get to the good stuff, the new releases. I'm going to turn off these minor updates, and let's check out what's new in the ServiceNow Store. And we'll start with Accounts Operations integrations with SAP. Did I say that right? Accounts Payable Operations integration with SAP. Send payable invoices created in Accounts Payable Operations to SAP ECC and SAP S/4HANA, HANA. Key features here, invoices created in the Accounts Payable Operations can be sent synchronously or asynchronously to that jumble of letters that I just said before, and errors from that jumble of letters are captured and displayed as tasks on the invoice object. No screenshots or pictures on this one, so we'll move on to the next one, which is going to be the Black Kite Compliance Rating Spoke. Never read a SOC report again. Wow, how many people wanted to see those words? Key features on this one: two-way integration with Black Kite, BK or Black Kite unique parser scans due diligence documents, ingest compliance ratings, compliance and completeness scores, and understand vendor compliance with 14 plus frameworks. Let's take a look at the screenshots there. There is the compliance ratings for, it looks like, Amazon Web Services. There is the framework scores, again, for Amazon Web Services. You see NIST and PCI and HIPAA, COBIT, all those, ISO. There's a Black Kite Security Ratings dashboard, and there's the requests. Looks like document requests for SOC 1 and SOC 2, and then back to the compliance ratings for AWS. So that's the new app from Templar Shield, Black Kite Compliance Rating Spoke. Let's go on to our next one. CGI AI Ops is a new app. Achieve high-quality AI-enabled IT performance and availability for the multitude of complex systems on premises and on cloud. Let's take a look at the key features here. Event correlation, predictive intelligence, remediation for NLU or natural language understanding with suggested solution, remediation zero-touch service management, the technical features powering that: predictive intelligence API, natural language understanding API, custom flow designer actions in ITOM, the CSDM model, and integration to hyper automation platform of choice. Let's look at the screenshots. There's an incident showing a resolution and resolution notes, a resolve by and a resolve date. By, I'll call your attention to there, the AI Ops user. So it looks like theoretically no one had to touch that. It was resolved automatically. There is a work note showing natural language processing model returned action to be taken, start MySQL INC. There is another work note talking about predictive intelligence, analyze historical incidents and suggested a potential solution. And here is the back to the first screenshot of the AI Ops user resolving that ticket. So that's what's new from CGI Information Systems and Management Consultants PVT Ltd. Next on the list, Cloud Manager, FinOps and Cloud Management for Enterprise. New application for cloud management, governance, cost control, and automation to get it done. All right, we've got a bunch of features here. I'll scroll down here. I'm just going to go with the highlights there since this is very wordy. Cloud Manager aligns FinOps best practices, enabling businesses in key areas of cloud management for cost visibility and billing, cost reduction, budgeting, compliance, and automation. So there you see visibility, reduction, budgeting, compliance, automation. Let's scroll down and see what else we have here in the key features, just requirements after that. So that's what's new from Kumoko Limited. Let's take a look at some of the screenshots. There's the key features. There's those breakouts with risk, change management, ESG were not on the list I just read previously. There's the FinOps offering graphic, so you can see it. There's the governance graphic for FinOps processes. And there's an overview dashboard for Matt. When he logged in, he took a screenshot for us. And there is the cost savings menu item that you can see. They clicked on it right there. So they're moving through their menu. This is the compliance dashboard. And we've got the recommendations dashboard. You see cost savings, compliance, and tagging there. These are the compliance recommendations. So they clicked on the compliance tab. And here's a budget health check. And the last is, I can't really read that, something recent. Not really sure what that is, but just want to give good coverage. There's how to add accounts for AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. And then we're back to the key features. So that's what's new from Kumoko Ltd. Next on the list, Control Tower from ServiceNow, a new innovation lab application. Ooh, you know I love these. Let's see, this one is Control Tower Dashboard brings all CXO assets and related department workspaces and workflows together into one single screen. So it's the Control Tower. It was built using UI Builder, and it brings the CIO, CCO, GC, CHRO, CDO, CPRO, etc. department workspaces and workflows together in one screen. Well, you know, I have the one demo environment on the planet Earth that has everything installed on my job, so maybe I should take a look at this. But there we go. There's the CEO dashboard, and layer 2 looks like they'd sort by the other C-suite person, and then it showed layer 3, department control tower, layer 4, the workflow control tower. This looks really interesting. I wonder what those little status symbols on there mean. But there you go. That's the screenshots for this one. and a new one from Innovation Lab. Let's move on to our next one, the CRO dashboard. Well, why not have the CRO dashboard follow that one? Also from Innovation Lab, Chief Risk Officer uses this dashboard to get a single pane glass view of end-to-end governance, risk, and compliance. Key features there, the words that I just read. Dashboard provides insights on what are the enterprise risks, how many open enterprise issues are there, how is our audit rigor and tracking, and how is our compliance. Let's take a look at the single screenshot. I know I've seen this one in some PowerPoint decks, so it's good to see this is coming about. But there you've got enterprise risk, issues, audits, compliance, and business continuity and management governance, all showing in one single screenshot for the Chief Risk Officer dashboard. All right, good stuff there. Next on the list is going to be Edge 2 Services E2S License Management. Provides capability to manage subscription to Voltio E2S apps and solutions. Key features, license management dashboard, and a link module to the dashboard portal page. We do have some screenshots. Let's check those out. There's the license and renewal date and connected devices. There's another screenshot of the license management and another screenshot of the license management. So that was active, expiring, and inactive are the three screenshots we have there from Edge to SLM. Next on the list is going to be Enterprise Agile Planning Workspace. This one is workspaces for RTEs and Scrum Masters. Do I have a definition for what RTE means? Nope, it'll probably come to me while I'm talking here, but key features: manage all of your Agile release trains, program increments and features, so that's ARTs and PIs, from a single workspace, access to team-related reporting and planning room boards on all workspaces, clear view of block stories to easily gain access to and manage, and advanced dashboard of program increment objectives, scores, features, and risk dependencies. So a lot of Agile terminology in there, and the only one I haven't thought of yet is RTE. Let's look at these screenshots. There's the employee portal showing the Safe Art dashboard, and that's in the Performance Analytics content pack for Essential Safe. I thought that looked out of the box from ServiceNow. Okay, there's some PI objectives, a features list, and dependencies. And there's a VTB or visual task board for the employee portal, employee portal, showing the features by state. I want to go to a portal. That would be a cool place to set up. There is the visual task board again for planning on these different this is program increments. These are stories showing for a program increment, and the swim lane looks like by Epic, if I'm reading that correctly. Yep. And there's the mobile team dashboard. And let's see, the mobile team Agile board, create new epic, create new story, showing the stories in the backlog. There's the creation of an epic. There's the creation of a story. And then we're back to the original dashboard, image number 1 there. All right, so that's what's new from InSource Inc. Next on our list, ESG Utility Dashboard. This is the ESG Utility Dashboard from Innovation Lab, so another dashboard from the Innovation Lab. Let's see the key features on this one. Leverages the Eurogenet integration API that brings customer utility billing data into ServiceNow. It showcases ServiceNow's use case of viewing consumption data. It can be leveraged to bring in the electricity, natural gas, water, sewer, and sanitation data points at a sub-meter level. Contains a dashboard that visualizes the consumption data across electricity, natural gas, water at a location and sub-meter level. And it is comprised of widgets to track failed records via integration on the workspace. Let's take a look at these screenshots, because I don't quite understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. But there we go, ESG Utility Dashboard showing the Office Utility Consumption Dashboard number 1. Here's dashboard number 2, natural gas and water. Here's the dashboard number 3, retry failed records. So we see the failure statements there for those integrations. And then we're back to that original. No, that's a 4th dashboard showing the Office Utility Consumption Dashboard. All right, now we're back to dashboard number 1. All right, so that's what's new from the Innovation Lab at ServiceNow. Next up, Infosys Live Operations, accelerate business and network operations. Key features, supports B2B and B2C scenarios, end-to-end process visibility, operations dashboard, zero-touch remediation, predictive operations, auto-healing functions, and business insights. The technical features integrate with BSS, OSS, NMS, don't know what that means, graphic dashboard, pre-integrated with TSOM, TSM, TSOM, and OMT, don't know what those are, and event-based managing alarms, ordering events, and CMDB data. No screenshots on this one, so that is what's new from Infosys Limited. Next on the list is going to be Inmorphous Empowered IT Operations with SDP. This with sensitive data protection, was what that means. Creates a hybrid security model for IT service management that allows customers to store all sensitive personal data locally while maintaining transactional data on the cloud. Key features: data stays together, or data stays within the data center, complete compliance to regulations, modernize and transform with no-code, low-code, built-in dashboards to analyze service performance and configurations, and isolate sensitive data out of the ServiceNow cloud, data available on demand for users to view or modify, and modify the field definitions to identify these as sensitive and no-code configuration. Again, no screenshots on this one, but that's what's new from Inmorphous Services PVT Ltd. All right, next on the list is going to be Embrace Inter-Party Automation, another new app in the ServiceNow store. Amartis Embrace provides standard MEF LSO Sonata Cantata API implementation on the top of ServiceNow. Not sure what any of that means yet. Let's take a look at the key features. Quickly introduce MEF LSO business APIs and processes on top of your ServiceNow instance and other BSS applications and APIs to harmonize them with your BSS and fill any necessary gaps. Independent implementation, allowing you to maintain a consistent interface for your customers as you evolve your BSS. Supports any type of product, allowing you to introduce new product models through configuration. Includes timely support for the latest releases of those standards. Built by a leading MEF LSO solution provider whose team industry recognized experts put all their in-depth knowledge of industry standards and best practices into the solution delivered in partnership with ServiceNow. I still don't think I understand what this is, and I don't know what BSS means yet. So if you know what BSS means, leave me a comment down below. I'm not going to Google it right now. There is a video and a screenshot. We'll take a look at the screenshot. There is Embrace, BSS again, a provider, seller, buyer B, seller B. Still not really sure what this is, but it is a new application in the ServiceNow store for the communications, technology, and software industry. So that's what's new. Next up, primary data integration with SAP. This is to pull entity data like legal entity, cost center, material, and supplier from SAP ECC and SAP S4 HANA, or HANA. Capability to fetch the following entity data from SAP into ServiceNow: legal entity, cost center, material, supplier, currencies, conversion rates, GL accounts, purchasing organizations, departments, and you have the option to do a full pull or a conditional pull. No screenshots on this one, so we will move on to our next one, which is going to be the Service Graph connector for OpenTelemetry from ServiceNow. Use OpenTelemetry data to extend visibility and application health of cloud-native environments into ServiceNow. Key features: uses OpenTelemetry data to infer service topology based on application transaction data across platforms. Automatically identify relationships between application services and the infrastructure they run on, applicable to Kubernetes environments. Ingest ServiceNow Cloud Observability alerts through event management. Requires Cloud Observability license. Does not require the installation of proprietary agents. Utilizes the OpenTelemetry framework. And we have one screenshot on this one, which looks like a service map in the CMDB for a payment service that I'm assuming was mapped using this OpenTelemetry data. So that's what's new from ServiceNow. Next on the list is Skital Go AI with Service Ops Workflows Revolutionize IT Service Delivery. All right, functional and technical features: ITSM, ITOM, and predictive AI ops on a single platform. AI-enabled natural language processing to understand and interpret user input. Ability to forecast and predict future trends based on historical data. ServiceNow predictive AI ops predicts issues before users are impacted and predicts unknown issues. And creation of data models and relationships to facilitate analysis and reporting. We do have some screenshots here. Looks like some marketing graphics, improve customer service experience with AI-powered service operations. Unlock more marketing stuff. And yeah, that's all we got. Just some posters of what this can do, but no screenshots or anything like that. So that's what's new from Digital PTE Ltd. Next on the list, SN-CXO Cascade. I believe this is a subcomponent for the Control Tower dashboard from the Innovation Lab. So it's basically that Control Tower dashboard we showed earlier. This is one of those subcomponents, so it's technically new, but it's part of that application. Next up is going to be sourcing and procurement operations integration with SAP. Send purchase orders, receipts, and returns created in sourcing and procurement operations to SAP ECC and SAP S/4HANA or HANA. Following sourcing and procurement operations objects can be both synchronously and asynchronously sent to the SAP system. Purchase orders, updates of purchase orders, cancel purchase orders with handling fees, blanket purchase orders, purchase requisition lines split across cost centers, custom delivery address, and standard delivery address, receipts, and returns. No screenshots on this one, so we'll move on to our next one. Supplier lifecycle operations integration with SAP. Send suppliers created in supplier lifecycle operations to the SAP system. Key features: create or update suppliers in SAP. You can create new suppliers or update existing suppliers in supplier lifecycle operations to send this information to SAP. Error handling: if an error occurs in SAP, you can evaluate the error information, resolve the error, and then initiate the integration again, I suppose. No screenshots on this one, so up to the next one. The anticipate success with HRSD. Equip the organization with the tools necessary for a successful and efficient HR delivery. Functional features: 24 pre-configured value-add services, uniform centers of excellence or COEs. Technical features: HR services graphical hierarchy, thoughtfully configured accelerators, and fully documented configurations of the offering. No screenshots on this one, and we'll go to our last new release from Thirdera. Thirdera Velocity Legal Service Delivery. Modernize the delivery of legal services, improve productivity, and elevate employee experiences. Key features: a self-service portal, standardized intake method, quick implementation to see benefits early, easy to consume training videos. On the technical side, it's scalable and secure using existing technology and built using ServiceNow's out-of-the-box intake forms. And that, my friends, is the end of our new releases for this episode, and we will jump over to the highlights. There are a bunch of highlights, but you're going to see a big swath of them get knocked out here when we get to the E's. But let's start with AWS. IAM Spoke was updated to version 1.1.0, and in this one they changed the action names as per naming standards and added path output to actions: lookup group users, lookup user, lookup groups for user, lookup roles, comma. There might be something else. But that's what's new in version 1.1.0. Up next is going to be Book and Pay was updated to version number 3.3.5, and they added a booking portal. I know that's kind of minor. It could have been a minor update, but a whole portal sounded pretty important, so I included it in the highlights. That's what's new from QuoDroid Software Development PVT Ltd. Next is going to be Checklist Pro. Hey Ty, how you doing, sir? This has got updated to version 2.0.23. We have new features. I created a database view joining the X-Tiger Check Service Catalog record with the checklist items, and a bug fix corrected an issue with a shared checklist creation by the Checklist Pro engine. And so that is what's new with Checklist Pro. Up next on the list, Delinea Service Suite Privilege Access Request was updated to version 2.4.4. If we scroll down here to the bottom left, we'll see some release notes: updated integration to add zone workflow, and verified integration to work with Tokyo, San Diego, and the Utah releases. Next on the list, DocWorks was updated to version number 2.0.6, and in this one we have lots of information. Let's just go for the highlights. Excited to announce the latest release of DocWorks, packed with new features, improvements, and bug fixes. Number 1, document configuration and transfer. A new feature that allows users to easily move configured documents from one instance to another with a single click, and the ability to transfer template mappings associated with the documents between instances. Improved document deletion. When it's deleted, the system now automatically removes its revisions and related records, including template mappings, and ensures a more efficient and comprehensive deletion process, reducing clutter and improving data management. Document form UI enhancements. Several user interface changes to enhance the document experience, and that includes document catalog field, new DocWorks document view, and a streamlined view. So they are providing that to you in this minor release, updated to version 2.0.6 for DocWorks. All right, next on our list, and this will be the bunch we get to knock out quickly, Agile, and all of the variations of Agile you'll see down there. Even as I scroll, we've got a bunch of them here. We'll open one of them so you can see what the update is, and if you've seen the show before, it's their quarterly update. They update the apps with quarterly data, and this one is for Q2 2023. So that's why I think we're going to get through the highlights pretty quickly here, because a lot of them are agile, going all the way from, let's see here, financial services, gaming, healthcare, insurance, manufacturing, medical device, oil and gas, pharmaceutical, privacy, and real estate, retail, technology, transportation, and utilities. All of those getting their Q2 2023 updates of data. Next up, ERP integration framework got updated to version number 8.5.1, enhanced the ERP source page to include the connection alias, and added a new tab for integration services, which are jobs to fetch data from SAP for entities like legal entity, GL account, supplier, material group, and so on. So that's what's new from ServiceNow for that one. Up next is the 5.9 Cloud Contact Center was updated to version 1.3.0, and they've added support for logging custom call variables for all interaction types, support for all ServiceNow workspaces, support for multiple interactions, and out-of-the-box support for all 5.9 data centers. Notice that they are calling this one a major release, and I would agree with them. That is a major release. All ServiceNow workspaces is probably a fun thing to test. So that's what's new from 5.9. Up next, FSM Configurable Workspace from ServiceNow got updated to version 23.3.7, and they fixed some issues. Searching for a resource and then dragging and dropping a task to the resource was not working. Creating a task bundle was failing with the Vancouver family build. Here comes Vancouver, everybody. On the initial page load for task filters in Dispatcher Workspace 3.0, the tasks were not filtered according to the defaulted select filter. And in the Dispatcher Workspace 3.0 calendar, task date colors were missing with the Vancouver family build. All right, we see it happening. Vancouver is coming. You heard it here, second or third or fourth or fifth. Up next on the list, HR Service Delivery Advanced Integration with Oracle HCM. Patch version has been certified with the HCM Cloud Spoke 3.3.0. Yes, it's minor. Yes, it's a patch, but I thought that was important to highlight. Next is going to be HR Service Delivery Integration with Oracle HCM. I believe this is the same thing. Yep, Cloud Spoke 3.3.0. Orca Security for Vulnerability Response was updated to version 2.1.0, and in this new version, they're pulling Delta Orca alerts, detections creation for vulnerable items, and domain separation support. All right, up next on the list is Qualys Core was updated to version number 1.3.401, and wow, fixed in this release, detection event rules fail to create in target table when app scope of target table is in scoped application administration or has a can create disabled. When looking at connectors for import configurations, you were unable to edit the list and add additional connectors, created an A-text index entry for correlation ID field on task table to improve detection event rule lookup and processing speed. When creating a connector and attempts to test connection, it throws an error and you have to manually test the connection. Added an option to general settings form to allow overriding the preferred Qualys host asset value to use for the ServiceNow host asset name attribute. Added additional methods to qualify asset IRE script include to enable easier override of matching functionality, host detections or not mapping configurations from host asset on import creation, improved speed for detection event grouping rules, fixed default knowledge base import that was set to trace logging level back to errors by default, and adjusted scheduled imports that are active by default. Big update there from Qualys Core. Next, Qualys integration for security operations to version 12.8.6, and they fixed capabilities, to update all the Qualys TPEs via Qualys knowledge base backfill integration. Not sure why I didn't put that in the fixes, because that sounds like a fix to me, but we'll leave it where it is. In fact, let's fix that. That's a fix. So our data, I forgot I can't edit it, and I can't do the list editing in that particular view, so bear with me here while we categorize this correctly so that our stats are up to date at the end of the show. We will just change that to a fix. We'll hit save and move back into our regularly scheduled program here. All right, we'll toss this back a page. So we were at Qualys Core. Qualys VMDR is the next on our list, and that was updated to version number 2.1.3.01, and that included some fixes for after submitting for exception false positive process and then using the cancel button, it's not canceling the approvals. CI's unmatched filter has an extra filter element in its keywords, and VMDR task not being auto-created from detection events, and automated host detection import in Qualys Core application. All right, next on our list of updated or highlights let me get rid of this attachments there, is going to be Service Graph Connector for Jamf. That got upgraded to version number 2.12.0. New support for bearer token authorization when using the auth token API endpoint in Jamf, and fixed no longer need to refresh the token for the computer data source when resolving the 401 unauthorized error. Next on the list, another Service Graph Connector from Microsoft Azure. That was updated to version number 1.4.0. And new in this one, the Configure on Azure policy for pulling software data of multiple VMs topic on the ServiceNow documentation type is available for implementing role or policy and subscription to feed all virtual machines data into a single log analytics workspace to pull software data. Map SQL Server to the cloud database table, import the bring your own licensing details from Windows and Linux servers, and fixed issues related to support Azure government cloud regions. Next on the list, Ship Ease Core was updated to version number 1.1.0, and they have introduced the ability to create return labels with outgoing shipments, introduced shipment delay identification via delay checkbox on shipment, introduced shipment insurance, and there were some miscellaneous bug fixes. Next, SN FSM components. I believe this is to support the FSM configurable workspace we saw earlier, but that was updated to version 23.3.7, and it lists the same things we saw in that FSM configurable workspace update. So we'll move on to the next one, and the last highlight, Wiz integration for configuration compliance updated version 1.1.0 to minor release, and they've added new supported asset types, new custom logic for asset matching, alignment with ServiceNow API updates for configuration compliance, and performance improvements. And that, my friends, is our entire episode. Let's take a look at the stats for the episode. We went through 20 new releases, 37 highlights was 38. We've decreased that to 37. 2 minor updates, 67 features, or fixes, sorry. 67 features was 68 before, or 66 before we moved that. 2 downgrades and 8 release notes fails. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share it with somebody who you think might be interested in what got updated on the ServiceNow Store. And until next time, don't forget to always be learning.